This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
Thank you. Okay, you are now being recorded. Do I have a motion to open the meeting, please?
I'll make a motion to open the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Public speak time. Is there anybody here from the public that is not on for a public hearing that would like to speak?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm here to kind of ask for forgiveness a little bit. I didn't get the application in time for a special one-day permit for event coming up because I didn't know about it until last night. So I was kind of hoping you would help out Nate here and see if we can get that done.
Tim.
Yes.
Okay. I spoke with Tim on the phone and let him know that he missed the deadline and that he would have to request a special meeting through the board at some time next week. It's for the Brewery Club's annual lobster bake.
And when is that?
September 10th.
I will not be here next week, so it'll be up to Easter.
And when do you need to have all this paperwork in
I
by?
can take it today or...
And he's got it? You have everything prepared and ready to go?
I have the application filled out, but we talked about getting you the check for next week.
And liquor liability and tips and all that is included?
No, I'll have to get that, but I can
Okay.
get that today.
So whenever you have all that as a completed application, I can take it.
Okay.
And you said September 10th is your...
Yes.
So it would have to, we would have to have it posted by next Thursday. So Tony, would you be available to meet on the 6th? That's a Tuesday?
No, that's when school starts.
Okay. The 7th or the 8th, Wednesday, Thursday,
Wednesday I could do.
the 7th? Okay.
What day?
9/7.
I'd have to do it by 3.
By 3 or start at 3?
Start at 3.
That confusing? So if you get all your paperwork in and she can post it for September 1st, would be able to meet on the 7th with a public hearing for that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? All right. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes from the July meeting?
Motion to approve the minutes from the July meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, public hearings. Now like to open the public hearing for my favorite name, Meow 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 Corp. Doing business as Octo Wines, seeking a new annual wine and malt off-premise retail license. And I'll just like to put in the record, we have 2 public hearings today. Meow 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 and Little Truck are both tenants in a building that I manage. I have on record with the city clerk there's no, I do not derive any kind of income from them being my tenants, so there is no conflict of interest, and that is on file with the city clerk if anybody needs to see that. So, now I'd like to open that public hearing, so please introduce yourself and tell us about your project.
I'm Christy Bodine, I'm the attorney for the applicant. And this is,
Brian Brown. And I'm Lauren Clark.
and they're going to be the owners of the business. We've submitted to you what I believe is a complete application. They're planning to open, probably not soon, they've got to build the space out, but we want to get the liquor license in place. They've got the lease set up and I believe everything else that you need for the liquor license approval. So I guess I'm here to answer any questions that you might have about this. It's going to be a retail, relatively high-end beer and wine. It's like a boutique.
And can you just tell us your times and days of operations?
Roughly 7 days a week. Probably probably, roughly in
No,
the,
not roughly, you gotta give me the exact date.
Excuse me.
I'll put it on the license, so.
so 11 o'clock to 8. Yeah, 11 to 8.
Okay, every day?
Yep.
And you're just selling, or are you going to be doing tastings and different other kinds of venues in there?
We'll be doing tastings.
Right?
In addition to selling wine and beer, obviously.
And some specialty food items too,
And some
right?
specialty food.
It's all retail, that's no consumption on the premises.
And you plan on being open around the first of the year, next year?
That's
Yes.
We've had concerns with people getting licenses and then never opening.
We'll be open as soon as we can.
Any questions from anybody? Yes, go
Where
ahead.
in the building is it?
Oh, here, we have, there is a plan.
One plan here, right here. So this is, I think, where's the street? It's on this?
Yeah, that's the back lot.
Oh, the Paragon
This is the
building?
back lot, okay.
That's the parking lot?
Yeah. Well, this is the back of the building.
When you say back of the building, is the old back of the building or the new back of the building? We've changed it.
So the pond side.
Okay, the pond side.
That's
All right.
where our entrance will be. is on the
Okay, and when you walk in the back door, where is it?
It's right here, all this green stuff. It's this space here. So you walk in their entrance.
It's by where the loading dock is now.
Can I see also?
Okay, all right.
Does that make
And I'm
sense?
sorry, could you identify yourself for the
I'm
record?
Pat Kuhn, I have a studio there, it's number
And this is
106.
Okay.
I just want to know how it's going to affect us.
And where's the rest of this is the rest of the building here? Or is it inside of it?
That's not near the...
Yes, their entrance will be where the loading dock is now. The loading dock is being removed, and their entrance will be ground level there. They will have their own entrance. They would not be coming into the Paragon building itself.
Okay.
Anybody else have questions? Tony, Stan?
No,
Hey, could I have a motion to approve?
make a motion to approve the wine and liquor license for Meow Meow.
Second?
All in favor? Aye.
So I'll send that off to the state either today or tomorrow.
Great, let me know when you send it, if you can.
I'll send you the receipt number. It's now all online.
Yeah, I
Through
know.
a portal.
Yeah, you can just shoot me an email so I know when to try to
Will
chase
do.
them down.
Sure.
Thanks very much, I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Betsy.
Okay, I'd now like to open the public hearing for Little Truck seeking a new all-alcohol on-premise retail license.
Hello, my name's Alex, Alex Kemper. I have Little Truck, a food truck in town since 2017. We are now opening up a commercial kitchen space and hopefully event space in the Paragon Mill building, and we're seeking an all liquor license for that space. We don't have regular hours. This will just be primarily to be able to serve cocktails at pop-up events that we do. Down the road, we may eventually do some sort of regular hours, but at least at the beginning, we're not planning on having any sort of bar. It's just to be able to serve at private dinners that we host and dinners that are open to the public that are pop-up events. I have all my license materials into Lindsay. My buyer's notices have been sent out, certified mail. And yeah, we're looking forward to hopefully getting a license.
How often do you think that you'd be doing pop-up?
To start, I would say probably no more than twice a month. But like I had mentioned down the road, we may open up as a more, regular restaurant establishment, probably Wednesday through Saturday, but this would be at least a year out, at least.
It's in the front and the back of the building.
In the back of the building. It's also, it has its own, actually, its entrance is right when you walk in the back doors. So you walk in and you make a right, and you're right in the unit.
It's the first unit in the Paragon Mill building, on the ground floor.
And you plan on having a walk-up window though also, correct?
Yes, yeah, that is for, I don't know what the rules and regulations say about to-go cocktails. I can't remember if it's, I know COVID changed some things, so I'm not sure if that's still viable or not, but planning to put in a walk-up window, and this is just for on-premise consumption. This is not a retail store at all for wine or liquor.
That was extended till April of 2023.
Okay,
You can
Great.
do takeout and they can take alcohol, it has to be sealed.
sealed containers.
Yeah.
Great. So if we are to open the window, the takeout window for food, then we would probably offer to-go cocktails as well.
Questions from the public? Yes.
How much noise do you anticipate this will make?
And not a whole lot. You say you have a studio in the building?
I'm right next door to you.
Oh, yeah?
We like to paint at night when it's quiet.
Okay. What unit are you in? You're
106.
right next door. So where is that in the building? I'm 101.
Well, you walk around, take a right, and it would be like, I think, your third door. It's right across from the bathroom.
Is it
Okay.
the one with the angled wall that used to be Greg Stone's studio?
Yes,
On the other side, across from the bathroom. I know what you're talking about.
yeah.
That's a good question. So, we don't plan on having like rowdy, parties and things like that. I mean, any average noise that a restaurant would make. It's a pretty large space. We're gonna have a lot of stuff in there, so it's not gonna be, reverberating too much. We have fully insulated walls everywhere.
Oh, I was concerned, like, if you had TVs in there and you had a
Oh,
sports bar.
no, that's a really good question. No, we're not planning on having any TVs, no sort of sports bar by any means. It will be a small bar, and it'll be just for dining in events, private events. But no TVs, no super loud music, no dancing, nothing like that. Pretty even keel, I would say.
Okay, so your main emphasis is on the food, not
Yes,
the alcohol?
absolutely, yes.
And your commercial kitchen is to make mostly like the food for the truck, but also you have a line of like curry pastes and stuff like that.
Yes,
that you-
yep, so we do a line of products as well that are nationally distributed. So the primary function of the space is to be a commercial kitchen for us. As a food truck, as a mobile food unit, we have to utilize a commercial kitchen space that's a commissary kitchen that's licensed. So we've been bouncing around shared kitchens for about 6 years now. So this will be, the primary focus will be for the commercial kitchen space, which is all pretty much during the day. And then also to be able to have a small space to open to the public for pop-up events, things like that. But the primary focus is for our commercial kitchen for the truck and for catering events.
Okay, what about the smells?
We have I'm not sure if you've seen our new ductwork in the back there.
I've seen those, I just don't know how
Yeah,
good they are, that's
sure.
all.
Well, they better be good.
Okay,
There's 2 box fans with a very high CFM, a rating that the fan pushes fumes and exhaust out. So we have 2 of them, and I don't think you'll be able to smell anything unless maybe your window was open and it was coming from the outside, but certainly nothing from the inside.
You have a hood in there too you're gonna put in?
We have a 21-foot long hood that's already been installed.
Yeah.
It's
Should turn the air over a lot.
should turn the air over a lot. Yeah, should be pulling it out. All brand new, top of the line stuff.
okay, I hope you'll be a good neighbor.
I hope so too. I think I will be. And you can always come over and knock on the door and introduce yourself. And if we're making too much noise, I'm completely open to it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Anyone else? Tony, Stan, questions?
Motion to
Good.
approve Little Truck's all alcohol on-premise license.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, all set.
So I will send that in either today or
Perfect.
tomorrow, and we'll hear within
Awesome.
30 to 90
Thanks so much. And I'll bring these in. I have these.
Awesome,
I'll bring them in
anytime.
tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
I think gonna do the special 1 days before the violations? Is that okay?
Yep. You just have to close the public hearings and reopen them.
No, then I'll just stay with it. Okay, I'm now going to open up the public hearings for the violations during compliance checks for Jim's Package Store, Abandoned Building Brewery, Casara, and the Pulaski Club. So Jim's Package Store, is there someone here representing? Hi.
Attorney Tim Williams.
Oh, yeah. Tim.
Oh, and Harnisha's here too. You already did? Oh.
Thank you. So on we have the letters from the police department.
You took them.
Yep, there in here. I just gotta find the order that you put them.
That's the order they came in from. That's the police department file, and I sent
Okay. So on August 4th, 2022, approximately 6:22, during a compliance operation by the local police department and the Easthampton Youth
Healthy Youth
Coalition, they sent somebody into your store and they were served and sold alcohol. This is not the first, nor the second time. This is the third time. Once the ABCC wrote you up and brought you in for this, and then also back in 2018, the same person who served this time served the last time. Which I was given a written statement from him that he understood that this was the second offense. The third offense will result in suspension of the liquor license of Jim's Package Store. I remember you coming in. I remember you telling me this would never happen again. And it did with the same employee.
Yeah, he's leaving, so he's not working anymore for us.
He's been let go.
Yeah.
You're talking about Bill
Bill
Sullivan?
Sullivan, yeah.
William Sullivan, yes. Yeah. Would you like to say something other than?
I mean, obviously, we're,
I'm sorry.
yeah, oh, he's sorry, but yeah. Yeah, Mr. Sullivan's been let go. Rico, who was the main, Rico Patel was the main manager. He's there most of the time. He's tip certified. He has agreed that any other cashiers, or what do we call them, servers, will be tip certified.
Yeah, Tracy.
Yeah, I would just ask the board, I mean, obviously there's no defense, but just based on the length of time that Mr. Patel's been there since 2006, I know like it's his third time, I know that. But we just asked you to consider the length of his ownership there, and not germane at all to the topic before us, but Mr. Patel, I mean, he likes the city. He's doing the project there on Cottage Street. Not that that has any bearing at all. We just ask that you consider that and maybe consider a warning or maybe a penalty held in abeyance for a year or 2 years or 3 years. If he violates it again, then it seems like this is one employee that just doesn't seem to get it, and he's given him many chances to his detriment.
Stan, Tony, thoughts?
I mean, do we have any kind of protocol or what you do about this?
Well, it's basically, so when I talk to the city solicitor, or the city solicitor's advice to us is that the penalties that are put out there should be equivalent to, like, are they a first-time offender, second-time offender, third-time offender? What it was that they were doing, you know, was it serving alcohol to 12 minors? Was it serving it to 1? Was it selling it? So we were to take all of that in. My concern is just that it is a third violation, but I know definitely 2 of the violations were with the same employee.
Person, yeah.
And we've been told that that employee is no longer employed by you. I would have a comfort level, you're telling me that that employee is no longer employed by you, but that employee will never be employed by you again. In a month's time, you could rehire that person because there's a shortage in workers, like everybody will say to us, and you'll come back to us and say, well, I couldn't get anybody else to work, so I hired back the person who knows the store and knows the procedures and all of that. But that's also your biggest, problem is that employee. I mean, we could suspend your license for 3 days. That's what the ABCC did when you got violated one other time. That was years ago, though. It may have been no, he owned the store then when it was. It was like 2008. So your license was suspended for 3 days. That's an option that we have. We could suspend it for 3 days also. I don't want to do that. Me personally, I'm comfortable that that employee is no longer employed. Because we could not have said that to you. We can't tell you to take away someone's livelihood. But you have taken that and done that.
How often do they do this sting operation?
You never know. I was not even aware of it.
It's not like a yearly thing? Or...
Nope.
It is annual. The Healthy Youth Coalition and
okay.
the police department are required to do this annually. They didn't do it over the last 2 years because of COVID. And then the ABCC does theirs at random.
Yeah.
But we never know. We never know when it is. And that's why. Because
State police do it too.
Yeah, but they do have to legally advertise it in the newspapers, which they did.
Yeah.
So,
like, was it his attorney proposed like a probation?
well, we can, we can decide.
In advance, yeah.
Yeah, it's up to us to decide what it is. We can give you a warning, and we can say, if this happens again, then your license will be suspended for three days, or we can even say that we will not renew your license. So that's, just everybody's thoughts on that.
Was it the same employee that this time as with the previous?
Yes.
Answer?
Yes, it was. And that was the employee that wrote this letter that in 2018, that he was the one that served, and that he understands that it was a second offense, and that it would the license would be suspended. So, but I'm comfortable with that employee is no longer working there, and with a warning that if it happens again, we will either exercise our right not to renew your license or give you a suspension for days. That's,
Okay.
you happy with that?
Yes.
Okay, so could I have a motion for that? Do I need to repeat that?
Yeah. Make a motion to issue a caution to Jim's package store.
That if this happens again, that your license may not be renewed at renewal time, or you will be, your license will be suspended for a certain amount of days. Like the Christmas holiday. New Year's. Okay?
That's what I've heard.
Thank you. And we don't want to see you again.
Thank you.
Wait a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now would like to, the violation for abandoned building brewery. This was also on August 4th, 6/14. This is their only offense that we have, an only violation from any jurisdictional ABCC or the local or the state. In the report, it does state that the server who sold was very forthcoming, said that she made a mistake. It was totally on her. This is not their procedures. I suggest that we issue a warning that if this happens again,
Yeah,
suspension will be given for their license.
I'm fine with that.
Yep.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to issue a warning.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you.
For the record, the employee's also here. This is Molly.
Now you know, take that couple extra minutes. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Next is Casara.
Yeah, we are here. Me, Trinley, and Lewis.
Okay, let me just get my paperwork back in order here that I've messed up. Doing a hell of a job on your paperwork. Sorry. Okay. Okay, on August 4th at 6:06, you served a minor. This is the only violation that we have for you
Yes.
from any jurisdictional state ABCC or local. Can you tell me what you've done to, that this
Yeah.
does not happen again?
We sorry about that. We did give the warning to the employee, which is Wendy. She was on the shift that day. We also gonna have a meeting this Sunday with all employees to raise up the awareness about make sure always check the ID people. We did implement like procedure in front of the fridge, like the check ID, the day, month, ages, certain things like that. But I mean, her telling on her part, she said it was her fault. It was busy, and she was sorry about that. I mean, she tried her best not to have it happen again.
Okay.
She even offered to pay the penalty if there's one, but we just say it's our responsibility too, because we're in charge. But we're gonna have another this Sunday meeting to train the servers on remind them about checking up on the IDs and things like that.
Great.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we would like to hear.
Yes. Yeah, well, thank you.
Anything?
Yeah.
So we will issue a warning,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
that this happens again, that your license could be suspended.
Okay.
But I think that's a great idea that you're going to work with your employees and let them all know.
Yes.
Okay? Have a motion?
Motion to issue a warning to Casara for liquor violation.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And lastly, the Pulaski Club.
Yeah, just finish this. You're gonna go first.
I don't even know where to start. August 4th, 5:53, served a minor. We have a long history with your club. Yeah. for many different things, from the ABCC, from Gaming Commission, and just things with us here in the board, being able to contact people, who's the manager this week, who's not the manager. This is really, I mean, you're before us at least twice a year.
Melissa's here, she was the bartender.
I mean, in the report, it said there were 2 people at the bar at the time, the person that you served and another person. How could you not ask for identification for, you're not even busy?
Yes, you're right. He did look like a cornhole guy that plays cornhole, and also at that time, my blood sugar was in a crash, and my alarm was beeping like crazy. I was just trying to just serve him and take care of myself at the same time. And I should have ID, I don't know, right?
I'm sorry.
The report from the officer speaking with the club should be in there as well. I can pull it up. Let me just.
Give me 1 second, I'm looking for the police officer's report. I don't think I have police officer's reports here. I think I just have the notices of violation. I got it. Just like I said, there was nobody else at the bar. There was 1 person at the bar. So, you know, I just don't even, I understand you might have been having a medical issue, but then you shouldn't have been working. This is, it just seems to me that.
All I have to do is drink juice. When it's low.
Then you should have just said to before serving the person, excuse me 1 moment while I step away, and then I'll come back and serve you.
Yeah.
This is a minor. And it doesn't matter who they look like. I mean, everybody knows who you are, knows me at Big E. I get carded every time I go in there. I have to show my license. There is no excuse for when there's nobody at the bar, it's not busy, and there isn't even an excuse when it is busy. This is, you know, you just don't serve minors. And if this happened when the bar was empty, what goes on when the bar is full? So that I have a big concern about this. I think other members of the board also have a concern about this.
Normally everyone's carded, everyone's certified. Always, if anyone looks under the age of 40, they card them.
It doesn't matter how much they look under. It should be, everybody should be carded. They're not going to send somebody in that looks like they're 18 or 21.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Tony, Stan?
I don't know. I know they're having a lot of management issues in the past. I don't know if it's any better now.
It's resolved with the management. Fine.
Yeah.
How many violations is this?
Oh, with them, it goes back with other things though too. There's been fights, there's been other things. Like I said, the gaming commission was in there one time and was told to leave.
Yeah.
They had to call the police to come in there. That's when the manager or I think the president of the club was told to resign in order for them to keep that license.
Well, that was years ago, the old President Scott Ishaway, because they have a poker machine in there.
Mm-hmm.
But we haven't had, I mean, I've been manager for the last year, we have not had any issues at all with doing something out there. I mean, I don't know what happened in the past with the club years and years ago, but.
Well, that's it. See, like, the new people come in and they don't know what happened in the past.
Yeah.
I've been sitting on here for 8 years.
Yeah.
I know what's happened in the past. I think keeping with the other solutions we've given today, I think a violation, just a warning, but we will.
Need due diligence.
Yeah, either we're going to not renew your license or we will suspend your license. And it will be like Christmas, New Year's, that time, when it's your busiest time.
Yeah, thank you.
Right, we need to make a motion.
A motion to issue a warning.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Please, don't
I will.
come back.
I will. Make sure.
All right, now I'm going to give you this whole pile back. Sorry, it's not even in order anymore.
Okay.
All right, past the fun stuff. Special one-day applications.
I thought we were the fun stuff. We're not the fun stuff.
So, special one-day application people, who are always the same people.
Hi.
You must look at the website. Things change. You have to keep updated. Lindsay is very specific in her scheduling and very specific in when things have to be filed. It's not always the same.
I reached out to her a little over 2 weeks before this meeting, because I did check the meeting date, but she was on vacation, and I know that happens. I should have been in earlier, but I thought I was within the 2-week time frame, so I'm sorry about that.
Don't wait till 2 weeks anymore, guys.
Yeah,
Okay.
I apologize too. We're going to be.
The meeting date has changed around a few times too, so I'll just make sure I check that.
Yeah,
and then
we don't always meet on the first of the month because
Totally.
different things happen. Sometimes it's a holiday.
I was trying to be good this time.
Yeah, it didn't work.
It's the one vacation I take a year.
No, like I said, you don't get vacations, you
And it
just get
wasn't
trips.
even good.
This is the rest of that other application.
Thanks.
I'm just waiting
Okay,
for the
cool.
insurance
That's
certificate.
fine.
I feel like September always seems to be a challenging month for us because we have a lot going on. So,
Yeah.
mental note for next year, we'll be seeing these as soon as we know the dates.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the best thing. 2 months out.
I just got another one for October, so I'll email you to leave a paper trail, but I'll have another one for Harvest Fest for Parks and Rec.
Okay, cool.
All right, so let's open up the public hearing for the special one-day application for New City Brewery and Abandoned Brewery. 1 day for the Mill Pond Live series. This is what the entertainment license we signed off on last meeting, so it's for that same venue that's going on. And
Just to clarify for the board, I asked that they do 2 separate applications because they're not doing them all on the same dates together
Correct.
this year.
yes, I was just about to say that because Sam is Saturday and Sunday, and you are just Sunday?
Friday, Saturday.
Okay, I was off by a day.
And then, Abandoned Building Brewery is just on the 2 Saturdays.
So,
The only other change for me is partially because Matt's not there on Friday, but also because it's been a request from customers in the past, is we're gonna do local wine and cider as well. So I checked that off for wine and malt. Same procedures, smaller pours for the wine.
and we're not going to have a continuation of the,
After parties are gonna be indoors.
thank you.
No problem, yeah, I was very clear with Laudable about that. And again, just to speak to that real quick, like I told you then, and like we've covered, the only reason we did them outside last time was because of COVID. So, that was lesson learned. And I would also love to point out that we haven't, to my knowledge, at least had any noise complaints at all since those events, so.
Or since we implicated our entertainment license policies.
And we will be, sure, and we've had a number of outdoor concerts since all of that. And I just felt like stating for the record that we've been good neighbors, so.
I'd like to add that we won't be having any any after parties.
And same as previous years, ham bracelets? Is that how you're
Yeah,
indicating?
they're doing the same thing where they have an ID tent with tip certified
Yep.
people to ID, and then my pouring people are also all tip certified, so,
We're looking, if there's no wristband,
yeah.
there's
Okay.
no serving.
Okay, and also fenced off where the,
Same fence along the bike path. The
Yeah.
only time that fence would be down is to let food trucks in and out. But other than that, that side of the park would be sealed.
any questions? Tony, Stan? There's two separate, so you need to say for both of them.
I'm sorry, is the bike path gonna be open for that?
Oh, yeah.
Is
Yes.
it? So you
We
can
just
bike
put
path.
we put a fence along the bike path
So you
that,
can't get into that.
so
side
you
area.
don't just, so it's not just like freely coming in, because also Lauderdale likes to
That's
have,
New
like,
Cities and
present the opportunity for people to donate to the concert since it's free, but people do donate, and there's a lot of like information at the door. So they like to kind of funnel people through there.
Okay, motion to approve the New Cities special one-day license for Mill Pond and for the October Mount Tom Trail finish.
No, you got, the first one was right, and then,
Okay, the second
and then
one is-
for abandoned brewery, abandoned building brewery for Mill
It's two
Pond.
different things, okay.
Both for
And
Mill
then,
Pond.
okay, and for abandoned building, Arcadia and City Service events. No.
Abandoned building in New City for
Okay.
Mill Pond Live.
Okay.
That's okay.
It doesn't say Mill Pond Live for.
The first,
Mill
The
Pond?
first line.
the first
Yeah.
line.
All right, let's try and do them all at
All
once.
right,
so,
well,
like,
there we go.
efficiency.
Shoot. Okay, so
Here we go again.
let's approve the one-day special licenses for abandoned building and New City. Okay, for Mill Pond Live. There we go.
Second?
All in favor? Aye. Now we will open the public hearing for New City Brewery for October Mount Tom Trail Race. I think it is clipped in with the other New City
It's
stuff.
actually right here because we didn't have application yet. And
Yeah, I'm waiting for my insurance certificate. They've been like taking longer than usual. I don't anticipate
You
a
can
problem.
sign all those.
I figured I'd talk about it briefly. It's the same setup basically as Mill Pond. So the park's been rented by the Downtown Trail Race people. They're doing a charity trail race. There's a 5K, 10K, 20K, and a 50K. Yeah, it's a pretty extensive race. There's a lot of runners. We did it last year, and we did the post-trail race celebration where these unfortunate souls who just ran 50K get a hot dog and beer in the brewery, and there were so many people that it kind of created a bit of a crowd control issue at the brewery because they were waves of runners. There's some really crazy people with very little body fat that came in like really soon, and then there were like the rest of the people that looked pretty haggard and really needed some nourishment. They all kind of came in a big wave. So we talked about it
It was
afterward.
like a really fun time.
Yeah, we talked about it afterward, and we agreed that it would be better to have a bit more space. So they rented out the park. They have the police detail, and they do all of that for charities for the Kestrel Land Trust. So New City's role would be to fence off the park. They're also going to do a finish line will be at Millside Park. So that's sort of the landing place for people after the race. And then as they come in, we'll have a tent for food and then a tent for beverage service. And we'll ID people there. And we're not, it's not a concert, there's no outdoor entertainment. It's basically just a larger space for the runners to kind of recover from the 7,000 calories they just burned on the mountain and get some chili and a beer or two, and we should be done. I put down till 6 p.m. That's just to give us the ability to break down a little later. I anticipate service of any alcohol would be concluded by the early afternoon, 2 or 3 probably. It's hard to say because the 50K is new this year, so I don't think there'll be that many people running that. It's a really far way to run up and down mountains and stuff, but that will take a little longer than the 10K they did last year. So I just wanted to kind of include a little wider window for all the people doing what I would never do unless I was being chased.
And you do have on here crowd control fencing.
Same as Mill Pond, yeah. So we'll seal that side of the park off and funnel people in through the entrance. And I'll put on extra staff to make sure we can do both the food and the beer and the IDing. Last year there were no minors. I wouldn't make my kid run 10K up a mountain, so, you know, probably not too many kids.
Can't get a lot of adults that want to do that.
I'm wiped after a 5K, like.
There were a lot of people though.
Absolutely.
There were 300 people that
Yeah.
did this race, so they have major city-wide police presence, similar to the turkey run that gets done.
Yeah, that's the one they died at last year.
Yeah, that's, yeah, that,
5K.
but it's a big deal. There's a lot of people, and people kind of, they all are in like a database for points, that tracks runners points, so people come from all over for it. It's pretty cool.
Any other questions? Could I have a motion, please? Tony?
Make a motion to approve the one-day license for Hillside Park. What is it called?
Mount Tom Trail Race.
Mount Tom Trail Race.
Are you cool with the digital file of the certificate? Can I just email it to you?
Yeah.
Do you want a hard copy?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Okay. Thank you.
Do you want me to go run and make copies of these now or email scan them over to you?
Email's cool.
Okay.
Whatever works for you.
I have 2 of these in this.
Because Sam and I had a little bit of a communication breakdown.
Okay, we only need to sign the top ones.
I sent 2 applications, but
Yep,
it
we're
was, I meant 2
We're
for
okay.
it.
Yeah, I thought
Which
I
is
was
fine.
doing the right thing because there's
okay.
2 weekends, so.
It's okay. No, you saved money and put it all in one application.
There you go. And then,
And you're
now,
cool with hanging onto the check for the October trail race? It's the same permit fee?
Yeah, I'll cash it with these.
all right, now I'd like to open the special one-day hearing for abandoned building breweries seeking a special one-day for Arcadia Folk Festival.
This is a festival that's put on by the Mass Audubon Wildlife Sanctuary. That's where it's being held at. That's at on Combs Road in Easthampton. They've had this for a couple of years in a row now. So we are a sponsor for them. And part of the sponsorship is to be the supplier for the, we're doing beer and cider. So they have a check-in tent where people get ID'd and get a wristband, and then we are the ones that are going to be selling the alcohol.
Yeah, they were at our last meeting and they got an entertainment license.
Great.
Good, no questions? Any questions? Can I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve abandoned buildings Arcadia Folk Festival special one-day license.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
What's the date on that?
It's September 17th.
Is that the same high school one?
Sam, what's the date on Mill Pond?
9th, 10th, 16th, 17th. All September. Wow.
They're all also listed on the city website under events. If you ever get.
I think the world knows you're gonna have it, yeah.
I get the emails and stuff, but I'm still.
Oh, me.
Really?
You ever worked in here more on Mill Pond?
And I got some.
Arcadia.
Oh.
Cool.
Okay, I'd like to open up the special one-day application for abandoned building brewery for seeking a one-day for city space event. This is on August 27th, 9 to 11.
We got contacted by City Space. They're having a, I think it's the Blue Room. There's a blue, so it's called the Blue Room inside the old City Hall. There's a concert being performed, and they asked us to be the person to apply for the one-day license to serve alcohol inside the venue. So in this case, we're going to be the ones responsible for IDing and putting wristbands on people.
questions? I have a motion?
Motion to approve abandoned buildings, city space, one-day special license.
Second.
All in favor?
Do you want me to go run and make copies?
I'm fine with email or mail. It's
Cool,
fine.
okay.
Okay. Moving on to new and old business. Change in processes and procedures for outdoor live entertainment.
Cassandra and copy you about the content. So
Guessing that's something you want to talk to us about.
So after more consultation with the city solicitor, outdoor live entertainment will no longer be under the LLA and is moving to the hands of the mayor's office and will be used as a, it has been implemented as a policy now of the mayor's office and will be an application much like the use of facilities forms people use for our parking lot here. And we will be keeping track of the calendar, and should any complaints come through on events, then they would be referred to the licensing board. So
This only has to do with
copies.
entertainment.
Outdoor live entertainment.
So now it's not, you would not be having
People will
a
no longer
hearing,
come-
no longer public hearing. It is just they apply
They would
and they
apply
get
through
an
the mayor's office.
get a permit.
Correct.
I have no issue with that whatsoever.
That was all I had, and then Stan wanted to go over the 2023 meeting dates.
Yes. When we went over the 2023 meeting dates, there was some discussion about giving the public opportunity to come and talk about things here at the meeting. And it was said that people can come and talk about them. It's their time to waste everything. And on the way home, I was like, wait a minute, we just approved meeting dates that are for Wednesdays at 3 o'clock. And as somebody who worked for 31 years with the company, if I asked my boss to get off of work at 2 o'clock so I could go to a board meeting at 3, he would tell me to go pound salt or take a vacation day. And I'm looking at our meetings and they're all at 3 o'clock on Wednesdays.
So that's because my office hours are only till 3 because I don't have childcare.
Right.
So if we can't do them during my office hours, I'm not sure how to do them. I did have public feedback as well as that our meetings should be hybrid, and we do have the opportunity to do that, but the board has to agree to do that, or fully remote. And that's up to the board.
Well, I think that people would have the same problem with sitting at their desk and watching a remote meeting at 3 o'clock as they would coming to a 3 o'clock. I think also not only with the 3 o'clock problem is also, as we have seen, for so many years, we met on the first Monday of every month, and now we're all over the board again, and that becomes an issue.
Causing confusion.
Yeah, causing confusion, that, people were planning their filings and stuff thinking that we meet on the first Monday. A lot of people just don't go and look at the website. You'd have to train them. We'll probably have them in a year trained to do that before they do stuff. But it does run into conflicts that when we're trying to, we have to act within 30 days on anything that's given to us. So it's a little hard, when we have these meetings at different times of the month. Like one month we're in the second week, the third, next month we're in the third week, then we're in the first week. So that's going to just be causing us to have to meet extra each month also, when we don't have it as that constant same day. So that's an issue, and I understand that these are your hours, and I know one of the ways we resolved something in the past was that we made a motion to have human resources or whoever it is that when you needed to go to an event that something was happening at to check it out, that you were paid for that. Do we have that option to get you another hour of pay if we're having more meetings?
No, because I don't have childcare. And the pay that the city would pay me is not even equating to what childcare costs.
Alright.
So me to do after hours would not make any sense. The city would have to pay me triple time in order to afford childcare. I would push back a little bit on the extra meetings. We've been doing it this way on a different schedule for 2.5 years now. Brindley's been around. So, and we've only needed one extra meeting. It was because someone did miss the application deadline.
Well, a lot of stuff didn't happen during COVID too.
Yeah.
I mean, there were like 1 year we only had 4 meetings out of the
Right.
whole entire year. So I don't think we can use the last 2 years as our example. I think we
Right.
have to go back a little bit further. But I mean, it was a perfect example, just like, what happened with Sam and Matt. They always thought, oh yeah, you meet the first Monday of the month, and so I'll get my stuff in. And we don't though. We don't meet the first
We
Monday of the
haven't
month.
for a long time.
Can you, I mean, the town can provide a note taker. Can you get everything ready and have everything ready for the meeting for that note taker to deal with? I mean, they don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Except take notes.
Take minutes, that's it.
Take minutes.
I would ask that that be addressed as the city council president and human resources, because that would have to
Okay.
be funded through the budget, and the budget was already passed for FY23, and it's included in my job.
Well, I mean, we're here to serve the public, though. That's the whole thing. We have
Yeah,
to,
I just
we have
do
to
it.
accommodate the public.
Right.
And people that need to be at meetings, and they shouldn't have to lose time, that, their paid time.
Have we
to-
had any response when people can't make these times?
Well, truthfully, me, I'm having a hard time now. It was 4 o'clock is one thing, but 3 o'clock is, I'm missing 2 hours out of my day
Yep.
then. So, I work for somebody, I don't work for myself.
Right.
So, I can see it start to become a problem.
And also, my thought is that it's more of the impression that we're giving the public. We want you to participate, but we're taking it away from you. We're taking the opportunity away from you to do that. And I think, if anything, we should be making ourselves more available and saying, hey, we're here if you want to come and talk.
Yeah.
And if you have an opinion about something that's there's a public speak time, come and do that. And we, 3 o'clock in the middle of the week really doesn't give that option to them.
School lets out, just throwing this out there, that
Yeah.
childcare is an issue for me too, and
Yeah.
anybody else with kids, because school lets out kind of between 3 and 4, 2:30 to 4:30, depending on how old your kid is,
Right.
So like today, luckily my wife could pick up my kid, but I might not have been able to make it.
Yeah, I would suggest that it be proposed to Human Resources and City Council President to hire a new clerk.
Is there a way that, I've sat on boards now for 20-something years. Boards only started meeting earlier in the day, maybe 5, 6 years ago. We used to meet, the Conservation Committee met at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Can we go back to that?
You can, but I can't be there.
Okay, I didn't know if there's another
Yeah.
person to watch children.
The
My
other
partner works 13-hour shifts at Coca-Cola from 5:15 till 6:30 at night, so.
The other option is that everything is recorded. If your role is to take minutes for a meeting, if you had everything prepped and that it was here for us,
You
and
could
then
take the minutes
you could
off
take the
of it.
minutes anytime. That's the
Is that
other-
allowable? Can you do that? And we could also record it if then there'd be a second backup.
Yeah, I would suggest also going hybrid, as people have asked for that.
What is it exactly?
You would just be setting up with the OWL system, there's one around here, and that way even I could remote into the meeting. But we have had people inquire about that too, so if you go hybrid,
Is there a reason why we're not hybrid now?
Wasn't included in the IT list, so from my knowledge, it was
I didn't know there was a choice.
IT issue.
no, we had sent
I
out,
thought it was like that other room is better equipped or something like that.
no, I had sent out some messaging a couple months ago when the mayor said you all have the option to either be hybrid, fully remote, or back in person. That was on July 15th, actually, when the governor again extended the order. So it's up to you guys.
So if we did hybrid though, would you be able to, even when you're home?
Well, so that's again, that it depends on the day, because like the Wednesdays and Mondays have to shift for me, but I know that I also did the 2023 schedule around vacation, so I wouldn't be stuck again. I'm getting married in 2023, so there were some things that I also planned around to allow time for applications to come in and happen, so.
But that's not every month, right? So,
I'm getting married every month.
So we could, I mean, something like if you're getting married like in November.
Vacation, married, holidays. I really did work around the calendar for each date. When you have Labor Day, you have Memorial Day, you have all these other things happening, Indigenous Peoples' Day, vacations.
What did we do before when it was the first Monday of the month? We just went to the next one.
Right, we went to the second Monday when it was, because there were a lot of first Mondays that were.
Monday holidays,
yeah. I think more the problem is the 3 o'clock more than the days moving around. Because the days you can look at, I think it's just a matter of people being able to make that 3 o'clock.
So we said the first Tuesday of the month with that.
My daughter's daycare lets out at 4.
Okay. But if we did a first Tuesday of the month at 5 o'clock.
I can't make 5 o'clock meetings.
But if we went to hybrid.
I could try and chime in on hybrid.
Well, school starts, I can't do Tuesdays and Thursdays because I teach at Stick, so I won't be here.
So it has to be a Monday or Wednesday.
Yeah.
So I think you all just need to make a decision, and then we'll figure out how you get your clerk. And I think you guys need to make a decision that's right for your board and the public. And
did Homer stay?
No. It would have been great if he had.
I know. Where'd Homer go? He was here at the beginning.
Yeah.
Just when you need it.
He's probably in the building.
Well, what is our next meeting? What is that? What time and day?
September 21st at 4.
No, actually, our next meeting is September 7th at 3 o'clock.
That's true.
So September 20, what was the next one? September what, 21st?
First.
At what time?
4.
So why don't we push this off till then and have a discussion with Omar?
Yeah, for the September 21st one, correct?
Okay.
You're here for that?
Yeah. And
Could I ask a couple questions about this outdoor?
What is it?
No big deal.
I don't know what you're holding up.
Sorry, the outdoor live entertainment policy. So I use the same form. Is that right? The outdoor live entertainment license form? The one that got created?
This one here in your hands?
Well, you're changing the policy.
It is now just a policy out of the mayor's
and
office.
It's just this one sheet?
Yes.
Not like the other one
Correct.
that had all the, okay. Because I've never done a, whatever you said, use of facility license? Like that would be for like the farmer's market?
Right, but you still wouldn't use this because you hold a special 1 day for anything you do off-site.
Okay, so the special 1 day off-site, if it involved entertainment, would be on that special 1 day license application? And it would just specify the...
Yeah, you would just be specifying in your special.
Like if I was gonna rent out the park and there was gonna be entertainment.
You would
then
just
I
you would just let them know during your special 1 day.
Okay.
This is for anyone who doesn't hold a liquor license.
Okay, okay, cool. But sometimes people ask me about stuff too, so I just want to be able to comment on it intelligently. Like there was a guy who tried to throw a dance party in the park.
Nick, yeah.
And I reached out to him because I had noticed what was going on and I just wanted to support.
I saw his Facebook stuff,
I wanted to support a community member, just because it can be a little confusing what to do and how to do the right thing.
Yeah, so he would just fill one of these out and the mayor would we'd look at our calendar, make sure there's no more than like 5 events happening in a different area, 3 events happening. And if any noise complaints happen, then we would refer it to the licensing board for a hearing.
Okay, so like this doesn't have a manager to contact or anything like the other one does. So like, I know that had been an issue before.
Yeah, it does right here.
Oh, contact for event. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, cool. So that's just the deal is just a different process if you're just a member of the public.
And this way they don't have to meet licensing board
hearing.
agendas and have hearings.
Got
and
it.
Go through that.
So it just gets submitted,
It's
says
just a
what,
sign off through the mayor's
a
office
month
now.
before is suggested on that front page?
Yeah.
At least 1 month, okay. And that goes to you still anyway, right?
Yep.
And then if I'm doing anything, so this doesn't really affect me.
It does not apply to
If
you,
I'm
no,
doing
yeah.
anything, then I'm
You're under
going through
special one
this.
day under
Got it.
183A. This is under 181.
81, yeah, okay, cool, perfect. Just want to make sure I understood.
One other thing on new old business. So, that was a total train wreck when you were on vacation. I had no access to any files. Thank God you had phone service
Yeah.
and you answered.
I just have to say, I got calls and text messages and Facebook messages from Omar. I got calls and texts from you. I managed the mayor's email inbox where there were messages from you. Barbara was calling. I can say that the one message from Omar I answered within 5 minutes and was done. So I think that was, I don't think it was a disaster. I think people were in panic mode.
They were. They
reason.
were.
So-
I think.
Your vacation sounds like my vacation.
I think
Yeah, thank you guys.
Omar reached out to everybody and
Yeah.
everybody acted.
That
Where
never
usually
needs to happen.
nobody acts on anything and everybody
Yeah.
acted on that. But I think there's got to be a backup system, that you need to have a backup person when you're away. I mean, not only vacation, like you could be out on medical or something like that. There is no access because technically I cannot call the mayor to get access to your office, to your
Yeah.
files, to anything. Barbara does not have access to your office or anything else. So I don't know if you reach out to Zoe in the building department. Somebody needs to be able to access the public documents. We don't want access to your computer or anything like
Right.
but public documents that somebody can get inside, and this is sitting on the desk to hand to them, but it was electronic, you were able to send it. But your vacation should not have been interrupted like that. But if there was a backup, it would not have been.
This has been a one-time occasion in my 4 years here. And I would also like that we hold our licensees responsible.
Well, and that would be
Instead of
another thing, you know.
pressuring the city to pay for a second.
You know what, and I think, you know, when people say, you know, why, my understanding was that we signed off and he was going to come pick it up the next day.
Correct.
And he never did.
Correct.
Did you reach out to him that you were going on vacation, come get your license?
No, I did not, but it's been posted on the website for a year.
Okay. I think, like, once again, I don't think people look on the website.
Yeah.
I think if people do not pick it up the next day, stick it in the mail. Then they can go down to the post office and stand in front of the postmaster. But you've done your part. They say they're gonna pick it up. If they don't pick it up, then drop it in the mail.
I think we should respectfully have a conversation with the city council president and HR and looking into a new clerk. Because I think with the expectations of my job as executive assistant to the city of Easthampton, the workload is
Getting overwhelming?
well, it always has been very large. I think the priorities to the mayor's office and the projects that we have going on there sometimes put licensing a little further back on the priority list for me. So
I agree.
I think this could be a good stipend position for someone that has time to do that and can be on call 24/7 for that type of stuff. I don't think it would be reasonable to ask for a second person.
I agree.
You know,
You know,
I think-
definitely we need to have a second person, or we, like you said, a clerk that can be here in the afternoons
Yeah.
and that we're more servicing the public. Because it's conflicts for you, it's conflicts for us, for our work schedules, and we're volunteers.
Right.
You know, so it's not like we can all just say, okay, we're gonna go to a meeting right now. So, yeah, I think this is a discussion that we have to put forth to HR and to city council. Is that who we have to?
Yeah, because the mayor can't have conversations
Right.
about it. It would be conflict of interest as her staffer and as a stakeholder.
Right. So I think that's something then, if the board wants me to do that, I will reach out to those departments and see what we can do. But you're still going to have to train this person because this person's going to be coming in like you came in
Yeah.
how many years ago, 6 years ago, or, you know, not knowing, and you know how you
Yeah,
struggled
of
in the
course, I
beginning.
wouldn't ever just do the city ring of fire to them.
Nobody had to get thrown into it like you did. You really got thrown into it.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we'll do is then I'll have a conversation, and because I saw this coming when you got your new position, that you were going to be much more of your time was going to be involved in that.
I'm surprised that they don't have a clerk that kind of picks
Well, when
up
I
on
first
one
came
role.
on, I had to do my job as the municipal clerk to the mayor, and I clerked for planning, health department, and licensing, and it's an unreasonable expectation, where I dropped both of those.
Yeah.
And stayed on for licensing, because there was more than just clerking to it. I'm actually having to do the filing of the paperwork, the ABCC liaison. So.
Yeah, and that's really hard.
It's an actual
very-
position.
It is, and the other thing too is the files should not be archived. These files should be.
We don't have room up here.
I know you don't, but they really should be that you can. Someone calls with a licensing question.
Oh,
it
that,
should
yeah.
be, but it should be like like when I needed stuff for these violations, you
Yeah.
had to go and look all over in archives and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It should have been Jim's package store. Pull the file right out of the file cabinet.
Yeah, we don't have enough filing cabinet space at City Hall. Otherwise, it would be. That's why Barbara worked really hard to give us King Information Systems in there, and it's a great filing system, and they have everything boxed, but it's the only space we have.
That's tough though. It really is.
So did we move this to the next meeting? Is that the decision?
Yes, we'll move to the 21st, but I will talk to, it's the city council I have to talk to first, I just don't
Yeah,
call
so
HR.
Omar,
Yeah, Omar.
yeah. And I don't know if that's, and while you're having that conversation with him, can he come up with ideas of how we can get it out there that, hey, we're having a public hearing about it. I'm sure they have that issue with all of their stuff. It can't be new to him, as the public isn't aware of, when the city council is meeting. They're not aware when we're meeting.
Well, we have to notify me that people can sign up for phone calls, text messages, or emails from.
Okay.
There are people not.
What, I'm sorry, what was
The
this?
notify me?
What is
Do we know
that?
how many people are signed up for them?
Yes, I can look into the database and see exactly how
What
many
does
people.
notify me?
I have it, and I get like 3 emails from them anytime anything
Yeah.
comes out.
You can sign up for exactly what boards and committees you want to know, when their meetings are, when their
How do you
agendas
do
are
that?
posted. You
I didn't
go right
know
on the
that.
website, click notify me.
Yeah.
You can find out any city events posted. You can find out literally anything related to the city.
Yep. And
Anything happening here is now
Yep.
broadcasted
I
however you
get-
want to receive it.
yeah,
Okay.
I get all kinds of emails about that.
I do too.
Some of us
To the point
don't.
where I had to take them off and notify
Yeah.
me on certain email addresses.
Okay. All right. Any other business? Can I have a motion to close the meeting?
Make a motion to close the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.